Hi, I'm Howard Lyon, and I'm the art director on Stargate Worlds. Contacted me about, I guess it was about a year ago, and asked me to do some background concepts for the game. And at that time, I was working as a freelance illustrator.
I've known Howard for 10 years, and we worked together at a bunch of different studios. We even had a studio of our own for a little while there. That was good times.
And I did a poster, painted a poster for Stargate World for some marketing stuff, and then I painted an interior. And then they asked me to do a 3D object. And at that point, Dan Elgren asked me to come in and asked me if I would be interested in taking a position at Cheyenne Mountain.
His sense of color is just spot on. It's amazing. And, that's like what I love about his stuff the most is like how the colors play off each other and how the saturation is just really intense and all that kind of stuff. So.
He's a native to Arizona, and I'm not. So I had moved here, and they have scorpions here, and my kids love to hunt scorpions, but we hadn't really figured out a good way to do so. And Howard recommended this cool flashlight that you can get that has 3 different settings of basically black light. So now that we have that, armed with that, we're able to mimic what Howard does regularly, which is each evening go out with the black light and watch these scorpions glow and then smash them with sticks. If it wasn't for Howard, we'd probably still be just banging around in the dark.
He loves babies, brushes his teeth regularly, and the time that I've known him, he's never once killed a man. So. No, never.
One of my favorite things about Stargate is that each gate that you go through is a completely different world. It may be that you go through a gate and it's a very high-tech, sci-fi, out there, 1,000 years from our own technology, or it could be that you go into a very medieval village. Where they have a cathedral and half-timber homes, or a completely different, completely alien world from anything that we're used to. So artistically, really there are no limits as to what you can do and what you can introduce into the Stargate world. Most of the time that I spend here, I try and spend it painting and concepting. I find that as an art director, that the easiest way to direct is to actually provide an example. I don't always get the chance to do that for meetings and scheduling and organization, but most of the time that's what I try and do. When I'm not doing that, where I can, I'll offer input and help to members of the team. Fortunately, we have a very talented team, and I don't often have to leave my desk to give feedback because things go pretty smooth from the get-go.
It's like frozen and covered in snow, so he's going to be like half buried in the snow.
I guess with any group of artists, a lot of times you're going to have visions that differ, and it's my job to try and make it look like the game was done by one artist. And I think that's the most challenging part of the job is trying to figure out how to let individuals grow in their artistic development, to really encourage that, but at the same time trying to apply a singular vision to the game, for the visuals. You wonder a little bit, am I just imposing my personal opinion, or am I doing what's best for the game? And I always try and do what's best for the game. I would think of them more like, these are more like, eagle wings, but I would think more like dragonfly wings. They'd be really delicate and
you can see right through them, and it's like man-made wings instead of like found wings.
A game development cycle is a lot like working on a painting, where you start out with a lot of times a written description of kind of what you want for the illustration, and then you do a concept for it. In games, you have the game design document, and then you have a concepting round. And there's a lot of energy and a lot of excitement right at that first stage. and then you're deciding the colors and the look and the feel, and the whole middle part of the process, both on a painting and game development, is really it's kind of the meticulous part of game development, the meticulous and sometimes tedious part of doing a painting. Where you've painted the first few bricks and that was fun, deciding what they were going to look like, and now you have 1,000 more to paint. To finish up the painting. What I'm looking forward to most is after we exit that part of the process is where you get to tweak and you get to polish and you get to that last 10% really brings up the quality of the game and the look of the game. And I always look forward to anticipate that part of development, whether it be in a painting or whether it be in game development.
He brings experience and efficiency, but also just an amazing, an amazing look, and sort of that potential for a really, really classic, looking game.
I always find myself growing because I get to know people a little bit better. I interacting with people, and I really enjoy working with people. I find the people that I work with here fascinating and fun, so I've always found that when I come out of an experience or an opportunity like this, that's where I have a lot of growth. In other areas, artistically, because of the variety of worlds that Stargate provides, it provides a lot of opportunity for artistic growth where I am given the opportunity to really push myself and do things that I might not normally have painted, I might not normally have thought of to work on.